I have no idea what she said. I think she's judging my drinking habits. Anyway, um, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Top Cup podcast. I am your host for today, Daniel Arroyo, alongside my friend, the good cup, the hero that we all need and deserve, John Avius. John, how you doing?
Hi.
So, John, what's it like being a hero? So many people out in the world.
Jesus, that's
today.
a hard cut. It sucks. And I'm not. I'm a slave to capitalism.
If you're joining us today on YouTube, you will notice that we probably don't have video because we're still figuring it out. And recording from home is a lot harder than we thought. So audio is kind of our best bet. So welcome to YouTube, where you can do the exact same thing without having an audio service like Spotify or Apple or Google. Actually, I don't think you pay for Google.
I don't know.
Go Google. Anyway, yeah. So if you are new here, welcome. If you're returning, why?
Jesus.
Why are you here?
And he's broken, ladies and gentlemen. It took 44 episodes. There was optimism in every single episode until this one. He has finally cracked. He realized, why do you waste your time on us?
Why do you waste your time on us? We're alive. That's all that matters. Anyway, yeah. If you like what you're hearing at this point, again, why? But why not give us a like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. But again, to clear it up a little more, you can find us on Spotify, Google and Apple, and Buzzsprout, of course. And shout out Facebook group, because we have a Facebook group and we need to shout it out more.
For the 2 followers.
For the 2 followers. And it's all going to be under TopCup, of course. We really need to get back on top of videos, but it's a strenuous process.
It is shitty.
It's very shitty.
Yeah, no. I feel like the last episode was a little bit more optimistic about like going into this, and then like actually, because like, to be fair, the last episode was like business as usual, and then I went a whole week where I literally went to work one day, and then I'm like, wow, this fucking sucks. Like, fuck. I literally like, yeah. Are we getting into it at this point? I forgot. Did you finish? I think you finished.
I think I'm finished. Anyway, so John. Yeah. Some say that, you're champion.
Right.
Some say that you are...
Only of the Indigo League and none of the other ones. I never played. No, the Kanto. You gotta know.
Some would also call you a savior. Others call you a madman and a vigilante. But around here, we don't use words like that. We use...
dumbass.
Word hero. When we call people like you, John, we call them heroes. And why is that? I don't know. But I hear some people are calling you a hero. What's that like, John?
It doesn't feel right. So, backstory.
Preach it to the choir.
Hey.
I constantly introduce you as an asshole. I don't know what's wrong with people.
I was just like, look. I just like showing my good side. No, so backstory. I have an essay due tomorrow. And I work tomorrow. So I was like, I messaged my professor. I was like, hey, I have work. Well, no, the way I started was like, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, I am considered an essential worker. So that means I have been working a little bit more than usual. For different reasons. 1, financial, personal reasons, and 2, my store needs as many people as I can get because everyone's going on LOA and shit like that. So I was like, so that being said, I have work till like Sunday. So is it possible to turn in my essay on Monday by any chance, like Monday night.
Sorry to interrupt this titillating journey, John, but I have you at -8 right now, and you're still punching the red. So would you mind lowering your gain just a tad bit?
I don't know how. Why don't you just lower the gain?
You were on 5. You are now on 8. But
Put me on 15.
You're on 13.1 now, so that's where we're sitting pretty.
I mean, I think I'm doing fine. Now am I in the reds?
Jesus, yeah, you're on 16.7 now, and you're staying there.
If you need to put me at -20, you can put me at -20.
I may have to, John. I may have to. Anyway, continue your
titillating adventures.
Your titillating adventure, yes.
So basically, and I'm not gonna say it word for word because I feel weird. It's like his writing, not really writing, but like
I don't know why I thought this was in person. I'm fucking.
You're right. This was an email. Just to be clear,
I'm craving human connection so much that your story is face to face with people.
Just to be clear, this is an email. Okay.
Yes.
So, my professor replied with, "You, sir, are amongst the heroes."
You're amongst the heroes.
Or among the heroes. My bad. You are among the heroes. I'm, and then italicized, more than happy to give you an extension. As a matter of fact, why don't you take until Wednesday, midnight, to turn in the paper in case you need to catch up on some sleep?
Jesus.
Take care out there. Best regards, my professor.
Wait, where do you work again, John? Target. Right. Well. Hey,
for what it's worth. I don't know how Target hasn't released it. I don't think. Nor do I know how they'll react. I don't even know how the other stores are reacting. But Home Depot and Walmart have announced that they have had multiple employees, like 2 or 3, already die.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
One of them was the greeter in front of Walmart. You know, the ones that's supposed to be like, okay, only 50 fucking people can enter our store. Yeah. So apparently one of them got sick and then died.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. So like, I'm not trying to laugh at like their deaths. I'm laughing at the ridiculousness of the story because, again, I don't know how they plan on addressing that. I don't know if my store has. I don't know if Target's lost any employees. As far as I'm aware, currently none. I'm hoping it stays that way. I'm hoping none of them get the COVID-19 from work. Like if they came in contact with another person and got COVID-19 through that, I'm not going to say that's like, oh, fine. Like glad that that's how they did it. No, like it still sucks that they got it, but it's less, on the company itself, that they didn't get it while at work. Like they didn't get affected at work. Mm-hmm. However, at Walmart, they did. Well, anyways, so just for what it's worth, it is, I'm still at risk. I'm still for the most part. Anyone, for that matter, is still risking themselves. I'm
just giving you shit. No, I'm just imagining your professor just like, Jesus, another fucking guy just trying to get an extension out of me. It's like, wait, fuck, he works at Costco? No. Target. He works at Target. John, you are amongst the heroes. Take all the time you need.
Yeah.
Fucking sleep. You know what? Don't even do the assignment. You have a fucking A. Right? Just put me down for like a 24 pack of 2-ply.
No, honestly,
square it away. You'll get the highest grade you have ever gotten.
I'll get you Charmin. No, honestly,
I'll get you your fucking degree tomorrow, John.
Honestly, my professor has been pretty fucking chill. about this whole
Yeah.
thing. Like they've all been like, "Hey, nothing's due. Just get it to me at the end of the semester. You're good." Another one was like, "We're gonna have tests." We tried taking the test. Like we had a meeting before the test, and he's like towards the end of the meeting, he's like, "So I'm realizing that we're not where we need to be. So why don't we just, if you guys are cool with it, just continue the Skype meet or the Zoom meeting, and I'll just walk you through the test." I still got a 97. I went to the restroom and I came back and I missed
nothing.
I came back and we skipped question 3 and I felt weird about asking for the question 3. So I just and I guessed and I guessed wrong out of like the 3 options. So I was like, fuck.
Way to go.
Either way, a wild I'll be honest, I look at a cat and I can't think of any other name other than my own cat's names. Because I was like, a wild Oreo appeared? No, that's not right. A Suzu appeared? No, that's not right either. I
Olive.
couldn't. Yeah, I
Her name is Olive.
I could not remember your cat's name. I'm only used to my cats. Anyways.
Troublesome stuff.
Anyways, so yeah, so like now we don't have tests and we're going to be walking through all the tests. Because he's like, do you guys learn better like if I explain the test and like walk you through all the problems? And everyone's like, yeah. And he's like, okay, I guess this is what we're gonna do. Awesome. But yeah, my professor's been super chill. But yeah, no, going back to it, it's really weird being called the hero. I'm just like, oh, awesome. I feel just like those 20 firefighters outside my door. Thank you, Professor. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let them know.
John, they say that the true heroes are the ones that have duty thrust upon them, and not the ones that ask for it. So you may very well be the greatest hero.
I just wanted to be like,
of the C virus.
I just wanted to be like, so wait, what is my bullshit call? You know? Because I feel for the firefighters. Like I'm not joking. We had 3 fucking firefighters, like trucks, fire trucks come out, a few cops and an ambulance, right? All these firefighters came out, decked to the nines, which by the way, must fucking suck. Because not a single one of them was wearing a mask or gloves other than like the shit that they normally would do. And I'm not saying that like, as the fuck are you guys doing? I'm just going like, I don't know why you guys aren't. I don't know the reasoning. I'm sure there's a perfectly legitimate reason why first responders are not wearing it, whether that be we don't have any, or that's something they can't do or whatever. I'm sure there's a reason. Either way, these individuals didn't. And like they still had to come in. And it was some old lady that got burned on the stove. So yeah.
See, that's the beauty about first response.
Or started like a small grease fire on her stove, and yeah.
It wasn't downstairs, lady, was it?
No, it was the 6th floor.
Okay. Okay. Nobody cares about them.
But yeah, we have. Because they don't know, because they don't say, oh, I started a small grease fire. They don't know how big it is, so they just had to send 3 fucking fire trucks out here. And like, I feel for all of them.
I just started a small grease fire. It's not a big deal. But if you guys can get here as soon as possible. Yeah, for sure. Not a problem. Send an entire engine. The fucking apartment complex is gone. It's like, I thought it was a small grease fire. Yeah, it started that way.
But then it hit the gas line.
Then it hit the gas line and took out the 7th floor.
What can you do?
Everything else just burned.
But yeah, it was just shitty. And there's an image from that day that I won't forget that I feel just like completes that day. I guess one of the firefighters walked his way over to D building and the truck was parked over at E building. So he just kind of stood there, decked out, just waiting for them to get the truck, the engine, and drive it over. And it took like a solid 3 to 5 minutes. It was a dark, gloomy day and it was raining.
God.
And you just see this firefighter dude chilling on our curb, just like waiting, kind of just like pacing a bit, kind of just standing still, staring out. And then eventually the truck came over and he like put all the shit away. And I was just like, yeah.
Stupid old lady with the fucking grease fire.
Looking back at it, I wish my camera wasn't like set up the way it was. I would have grabbed it and tried taking it. I just feel like it would have been a nice picture, you know?
It would have.
Like a lone firefighter just waiting.
I could have sold it.
Maybe. If I had taken it well. But it was depressing and all that. But also I learned that day that aside from people that live here, our apartments are fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Because they were like, how do we get to the sixth floor? And like they were going like, can we take the stairs? That's like the safest option. Yeah, we can take the stairs. And I was out there because I let them into the door. Because they have no way of getting into the door because of our fucking tags. So I let them in and
just takes the axe and just takes out one of those
right?
windows.
But as they were walking, I was like, and they're like, yeah. And I'm like, are you trying to get to the 6th floor? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, stairs won't work. And they're like, why? And I'm like, those stairs and the ones over there only lead to the 4th floor. And what you'll then have to get off, find the other stairs that will then lead you to the 6th and 7th floor. And they're like, okay. So what? I'm like, the elevator can take you directly to the 7th floor. And they're like, we're just going to take the elevator. And I'm like, yeah.
Let's just do that.
And they're like, how do we get to the E building? I'm like, so there's going to be multiple corridors. Try to stick to the ones towards the back. Any path that leads backwards, it's probably the one that you want. But other than that, good luck. And like, you guys don't have like maps? And I'm like, no, they're only fire exit maps. You guys know how to read those, right? Like, I didn't say that, but like, I just realized that, fuck, our buildings suck.
You got this.
But yeah, I mean, they did. They managed to get there and all that. But I just felt bad because like, it sucked. It was for a small thing. It wasn't that
You're
big.
like a shitty NPC.
I didn't see a single one of them leave with a stretcher or anything. So they even asked the lady if she needed medical assistance, and I guess she turned them down.
Or they're just like, you know what? We can't find E-building. Fuck it.
No, they found the apartment. I know. I went up to make sure, and they did. But it was just sad. But anyways, going back to it, I'm amongst them.
Moral of the story.
Moral of the story,
As much as a hero as a fucking firefighter.
I am equal in the eyes of my professor.
In the eyes of your professor.
I'm making him sound like a horrible person. He's not. He's really awesome.
Yeah, it was just
but that weird, mentality.
A weird compliment,
yeah.
I guess, or weird like praise that coming from your professor. I mean, let's hope that, you know, one day he doesn't just pull some, hey, John does stuff on the internet. Let's see what this is about. So my professor called me a fucking hero, and goddamn that idiot. It's like,
God.
F.
Yeah, no, I told Brianna the other day, I was like, fuck.
You get an F.
If any of my professors saw any of our streams, knew anything about knowing how to tell when an Xbox Live gamer tag comes on, or anything like that, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
But no, it's fitting because I got that email last night after Brianna had gone to sleep, or I checked it at the very least after she went to sleep. And before she went to sleep, she showed me a picture that was like, it was one of those Twitter rants, but like, people, these workers are essential workers. They're not heroes. They're not anything. They're just average people that don't want to be working and want to be home, be safe, and blah, blah, blah. But unfortunately, they can't because fucking capitalism and other shit is forcing them to go to work, to risk their lives for some other shit. Because if they don't, their whole family starves, they starve, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit, pay them more. Kind of thing. And I was just like, sounds about right.
So what you're saying is these people don't want to do these things, but because of a higher calling and to protect the ones that they love, they must.
Yes, that's exactly why.
I don't know, guys. Sounds a lot like a hero to me.
Wow.
No.
So what I'm hearing is that you don't love anyone. You selfish bastard.
Bitch,
Daniel is staying
I had
home,
no.
not sacrificing himself hard enough.
I had no choice. I got sent home. Okay,
So am I a
like
hero?
my place closed.
Wait, I'm a hero, but if I die, am I a martyr?
I think someone could spin it, but
When do I
at the
become a
moment-
legend, though?
Well, John, one thing you got to remember is that heroes get remembered, but legends never
Fuck
die.
you.
So,
On
No,
that note,
on that note,
you know who is a hero
or a legend,
or a legend, depending on you. A Greek legend, some
Depending-
might say.
depending if you have a machine that can make them never die.
Cassandra. What is your cat doing?
It's kind of perched, staring at shit.
Huh? Cassandra or Alexios. Whichever one it is.
Let's be real. No one chooses Alexios.
Dude, so many people chose Alexios. That's the most annoying. Yeah, so many people did.
What?
Dude, all the fucking reviews I see or like trying to figure out how to like complete a quest or whatever, like all the fucking guides, everyone fucking plays Alexios.
Everyone that I follow chooses Cassandra.
I think it's because all these people had to get them out day one, you know? So they made like all these Alexios characters. And it wasn't until day 2 or 3 that they realized, oh, he sucks. He has like no personality. He just sounds like a angry guy.
Yeah.
It's like an angry buff guy that's mad at everything. Yeah. Look at me, I'm so hard. Whereas Cassandra sounds cool. Fuck yeah. She's just a better voice actor, honestly. The Alexio guys is fine, but I really like the Cassandra. She's just a better character, I think.
Anyway, folks, if you haven't caught on yet, we are talking about John finishing Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yes, I finished it, finally.
A game that came out 2 years ago.
Fuck off. It is so long, and I have so many games. Assassin's Creed is the first.
Fair.
I am now going to move on to, I'm not sure, but either Witcher or Red Dead. I'm not sure. Probably Red Dead. I think I'm almost done with Red Dead. So
I'm running my way through the new game plus for Arkham Knight right now. I'm like 50% in.
I have a new game plus for the Oreo. Fuck, the Olive.
The Olive, yes.
Makes her appearance.
Anyway, how's
I have a new game plus for Assassin's Creed. I don't know. I doubt. Maybe. I don't know. But
new game plus is fucking hard. Yeah, no. How's Assassin's Creed going, Jen?
So Assassin's Creed is fun. Well, I mean, I like their new way of doing things since Origins. I like that play style a little bit more. I like the looter aspect of it. I'm kind of hoping they still keep it up for Vikings or whatever the next one is. I don't know, whatever name they call it. But
Ragnarok,
that's what it is. I'm like trying to remember, like, what's that Viking term? Ragnarok, yeah. Assassin's Creed Ragnarok. We're not sure if that's the official name yet, but I think it is.
if they don't miss the opportunity.
Yeah, I know.
Or maybe God of War should take it.
Nordstrom.
Assassin's Creed Nordstrom.
But yeah, I really like this whole playstyle. I like the way like the game is, the more open traversal kind of thing.
Yeah.
It just, especially in the settings that we're in ancient Egypt. I don't think it is ancient Egypt, is it? Is it?
Origins?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty ancient Egypt.
Well, I thought ancient Egypt was like super BC, like 1,000-year BC or some shit.
John, it was in the time of pharaohs, so considering where we're at, it's ancient Egypt.
Well, I just thought it was BC, you know, like really
Okay,
BC.
well, okay, it's Egypt, Cleopatra's time. Let's leave it at that.
Okay. Because Cassandra, so Assassin's Creed Odyssey takes place in 400 BCE, roughly. because Socrates
Okay.
and other fucking notable figures are alive during that time. That's how I know.
What is that, like 200 years before Odyssey or some shit, right?
Yeah, that is like 200 or 300 years before Odyssey. That's why I'm saying it's like right before, um,
Or
like
Origins.
or Origins. Yeah, it's right before like the turn from
Yeah.
AC. So that's why I'm like I thought BC or I thought ancient Egypt was like super long ago, like when the pyramids were being built. Like, that's what I'm getting at. Like when the pyramids are getting built, I thought that was ancient Egypt. But either way, I like it. I still want to do the DLCs, especially the Atlantis one. I hear that one's really good because that one's just like, hey, are you of the group that likes the Isu or the for Civilization? Cool. It's all that.
It's all that.
All that. Guess who they
Remember
were?
all that shit that you guys really liked and that we stopped putting in? It's all that.
Yeah.
It's nothing. Sorry.
Also, take a guess who all the Greek gods are based off of. Yep. Guess who you get to meet? Because I think that's what I read, that like some of the like they're obviously this first civilization. They're the Isu, but they are the people. They are the ones that end up getting referred to as like Poseidon, Persephone, Hermes, and Ares and stuff. Yeah, the Greek pantheon and gods and all that. But yeah, so I really want to play that because I think that'd be fun. And they don't have powers; they just have weapons and super high tech, which could be the same.
I hear it's a lot of
when you call
a lot of like.
I don't know.
I hear it's a lot of like horde fighting at times.
I'm fine with that. The horde fighting's fine. Yeah, that's the other thing. I don't remember if I did this with Origins, but I did this with Odyssey. I just played that bitch on easy.
Just to get to it.
Scaling down. Yeah, like, okay, so I think it was up until I hit level 50, which originally was the first cap. Up until I hit 50, or at least killed like all of the mercenaries who are supposed to be like the hardest NPCs to fight. Other than like main story NPCs, but some of them are still easy. Either way, up until that, I had played the game on Nightmare with the highest scaling difficulty I could do. So all enemies scale, every single one, even like the weakest of the weakest scales to my level. Don't you get her going to my drink? I'm gonna cover that. But it just got repetitive. There was nothing new, I guess. Like, it was very much like whenever I would fight anything, whether it be a mercenary, whether it be a Cyclops or Medusa or any of these characters, right? No matter what, it was very much, I'm going to win. This is just going to take a while.
Yeah.
There was nothing about it that made me go like, oh, fuck, I'm going to die. You know, it was very much, I'll win. I just need to keep slicing them a lot and then dodge. Then slice them again. Then dodge. And for like the big boss fights, yeah, when they hit you once and you die, yeah, you know, like I get that. Like that's the challenge of it. Don't get hit, you know? And that's fine. I understand that. But when that ends up applying to shit basic marksman number 1 who kills you in one shot with an arrow, it just kind of gets annoying, you know? It shouldn't be that hard. Yeah, you could bring the difficulty scaling down and still play on Nightmare, but I found it more or less no particular difference. It just meant like if I'm at level 50, instead of every single enemy scaling to me, only the most difficult ones will scale to me, maybe a little bit higher, and the weakest ones will be like at 45, 44. who could still pretty much fuck you up. So I really just didn't feel like any difference. So I just said, fuck it, I don't want to. And at this point, I have like so many legendary pieces of armor. I have one that's like, as I slice you, I get health back. So the whole me fighting the toughest guys was literally me running up and just slicing them a lot. Even on the hardest difficulty, I'm just slicing them a lot. And I'm like, I know you're hitting me, but as long as I hit you more, I'm not going to die. And so like it just got really annoying, really repetitive. So I just said, fuck it, put that bitch on easy and just ran through the rest of the game. Because I was like, I don't care. So
you kept it on easy on this final playthrough of the game?
Yeah, for pretty much the last 25% of the game, I'd say, maybe 30. Yeah, no, I just there's some games that I'll obviously keep it at the hardest difficulty because I like playing on the harder difficulties. It's just that once I find it repetitive or just really tedious, then I don't find any joy in it. I guess once it's no longer challenging and it's just more tedious grinding, I don't care. I lose interest, and at that point, like I'll never get through the game. But
yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair because that's with pretty much anything. When you have something that you're really stoked about playing or really stoked about doing, then it just gets like automatic and just repetitive. Then it just becomes kind of tiresome, and But is there any big thing at the end of this game to make me want to come back to Assassin's Creed, John? Because they lost me after 4.
Origins by far set the groundwork for, hey, all the shit that you remember, the Isu, the first civilization, yeah, we're going back into that. Because like,
thank God.
Yeah, because like that was the whole thing, like a lot of their shit. Think of all the Greek mythology and all the Egyptian mythology and more than likely Norse mythology. All the weaponry, all that Mjolnir and all those stuffs. I think you can guess. Those items do exist in their world. They're just first civilization weaponry.
Yeah.
Essentially. So a lot of that is shown in Origins and then plays a part, as shown even more in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So the main thing is Cassandra or Alexios, whoever you play, is the grandson or daughter, the grandchild of Leonidas, who wields a spear that is for civilization spear. And so the whole idea is Leonidas is actually part human, part for Civ, if I remember correctly.
Cool.
So, or he was just human that had first civilization weaponry. Basically, that shit makes you almost a demigod.
Yeah.
For the most part. And like they show that through all you get Hercules' bow, you get Jason's staff, whatever the fuck, Jason, Odysseus, Agamemnon, all of the Greek heroes, you get any of their shit, like all of their weaponry, all their armor is kind of like first civilization infused in some way. It's cool. But anyways, so yeah, you're the granddaughter of Leonidas, but your father is Pythagoras, which doesn't make sense because Pythagoras at that time is like 200 years old or 300 or whatever the fuck. But as it turns out, it's because he has a staff, the staff of
Eden.
No. Well, I think it does. No, it doesn't become the staff of Eden. It's the staff of, I think it's called the staff of Pythagoras Transmugaeus. I could be wrong on the second one, but I know the third one is Transmugaeus or whatever the fuck. Basically, that whole staff keeps him alive. Yep. And he is the one that is guarding Atlantis, which is the last city or whatever of the first civilization.
Well,
So they locked themselves away, to say the least. And
fucking losers.
yeah. And then like there's a whole thing to unlock it. You have to get all these Apple of Edens that are embedded or became a part of different creatures. So Medusa, the bull in the maze, for date, huh?
The Minotaur.
Yeah, the Minotaur. There was one more. I forget which one. No, it was the Cyclops.
Cyclops.
Yeah. So you fight them, you get that, you unlock it, whatever. Basically, what ends up happening is you get the staff from him. Yeah. And then when you go back, because then you get sent back. So if ever you do that storyline, do it last. It is way better. It's a better ending than the main story. The way it leaves off, it's better. Like it's literally they sit down at a sun and you look at a sunset and everything just dips away. Also, you know that at the end of that storyline, when you're in the modern world and you're there going like, holy shit, I found Atlantis, and all you hear is, congratulations, you did really well. Everything you know, or the best way of knowing you know something is knowing that you know nothing. And you're like, what the fuck? You turn around and there's Cassandra wearing a fucking business suit.
Whoa, dude.
And she's holding the staff and you're like, the fuck? I thought you did, bitch. And she's like,
she is actually Wonder Woman. Holy shit.
Yeah, and then, or Alexios, whoever it is. But Cassandra comes out and is like, I have lived a long time. And then she said something sad and make it sad. She says, like, no, Ikaros has been dead for a long time, or has long been gone, which is your eagle, which is sad. But yeah, no, apparently that staff made her live for fucking ever until she passes it on, and then she, dusts away.
Flies away to the sunset.
But the point is, the entire thing revolves around Cassandra and her family. They are of that bloodline that just happens to be part of it. Anyways, you go, there's a whole cult. They want to take over the world, yada, yada, yada. They have little pieces of this pyramid, which is essentially a piece of Eden. They're against you. They kidnapped your brother at a young age, blah, blah, blah. Use them against you. Choices in the game dictate whether or not he will come back and rejoin you and be part of your family, or you just straight up kill him. Yeah, it depends on you how you play. Options, blah, blah, blah. Point is, at the end, you finally touch the piece of Eden, and you get a vision from Pythagoras, who doesn't make sense, I think, unless you played that little extra bit that I was telling you. Because some of the visions show what happens at that bit. So it makes sense to me because I played that bit first, but anyone else would have been like, what the fuck? And then that's why I think it would have been better had they played the bit last, because it would have been, it would have felt like a better ending. But basically what that whole bit tells you is you did good. The cult was evil. You have destroyed their chaos. But in return, without chaos, is supreme rule. And that is the choice and the consequence, or that is the consequence of your choice. But that was the only way you could do it. And in order to do that, you had to break the rift. And the entire fucking time he's saying that, all you see is a shot of a dude walking in a desert. And then it teleports. Well, no, it doesn't do that. You see the dude walking in the desert, and then the eagle flies by, and then you see a dude with a gray hood overlooking like this Arctic peak, and he's wearing this like dark gray woolly mammoth kind of looking ass skin. And then you sit there and you realize that's Revelations Ezio, and then that disappears, and all of a sudden you just see what is it, American flag fly by, and then you see fucking. You basically do everything. You see Connor, then all of a sudden you see ships crash into each other. You see Edward, you see Altair at some point, and And it's just like all this. And it's essentially saying like, hey, you did this. They were trying to take over the world. You did good. However, they were chaos. They were throwing the Greek world into chaos and you destroyed that. But what will result is pure rule, which is the Templars. That is the consequence of your action. So now you have to be the force to oppose that, which are the assassins. So basically it said no matter what you did, that was the outcome that had to happen. The assassins and the Templars are because of the choices that you made in Odyssey for the most part. So it's this whole thing, and like they hinted at it in the game, I think even in Odyssey, which was and in one of the earlier games. Basically, you can't have one or the other. If you have one or the other, the world ends. You have to have order and you have to have chaos, is what the game is essentially saying. There have to be Templars, there have to be assassins, essentially. Without it, the end of the world. But yeah, so all that is just saying like, I don't know. It's really interesting. But then like he leaves it off saying, but you will be doing more. You have more work that needs to be done. And that kind of leaves it off there. So that's where people are like, oh, the next Assassin's Creed game, whether that's Ragnarok and you play as that, or you might play as maybe Cassandra and Alexios, or you might see them again because they lived from 400 BCE all the way to 2018.
I'll take it.
So
I'll take it.
Yeah, you might play them again, which was cool. Honestly, they're fucking badass.
If it's Cassandra going to visit the place where the Norse storyline takes place and like tries to kick off the Brotherhood somehow, which isn't gonna really start until Origins, which is hundreds of years later, but even so there could be a massive time jump considering that Cassandra could live forever potentially
until she passes on the staff to Layla, which is the modern day assassin girl that you play as, who is apparently still part of that bloodline. So they're also hinting that now that Layla has a staff, we might be seeing more modern day shit because she's going to be playing a bigger role because the idea,
I hope they make her because that's probably what's going to happen. They're going to make Layla the modern day interpretation of the assassin. But even more so, they're going to make her Desmond's replacement.
No, she is.
No, that's what I figured.
I mean, she's being trained by Desmond's dad.
Are they gonna make her as a compelling character as Desmond? That's what I want to know because he's not. I mean, Desmond alone, I guess, wasn't a terribly compelling character, but once you started seeing more of the world around him that's trying to control him in one way or another, he starts becoming more of a compelling character, and then you get into stuff with his dad and then Minerva and all of that, and then he's just gone. So the best, potentially the best part of Assassin's Creed, for me at least. I know Joel wasn't too hot on the modern day stuff.
That seems still polarizing for a lot of people. Some people just like the old time. People like the new time. They like the whole intertwined story behind it. I like both. I think they're really amazing.
I feel like it works well the way they wanted it to, which was having the past affect the future, and then the future learning from the past in a different way. And then I don't know when spoilers for Assassin's Creed 3, I think, when they killed Desmond. Or rather, when Desmond sacrifices himself, it's just, I don't know. I felt cheated. Yeah. And then after that, spent 4 or 5 games. Yeah. At this point, there was not having pretty much
What?
not having anything to do with the present time. And I mean, there was a reference to Desmond.
Yeah, and like all of them. Yeah, because we had Black Flag, Unity,
Syndicate,
Syndicate.
Origins, and then
Well, yeah. So, but that's the thing. Black Flag, Origin, or Black Flag, Unity, and Syndicate. All of those went without a modern day protagonist to take on that role. In Origins, that's when you meet Layla, and she becomes your
okay,
new
so,
mate. Yeah, no.
so she's the archaeologist.
So Layla's the archaeologist, and by the end of it, that's when you start understanding the whole beginning of the Brotherhood and stuff like that. And it's that at that point you meet more, because essentially Layla learned shit that she shouldn't have. Abstergo tries to kill her. You know, she gets one of her friends gets killed, but then she gets rescued by Desmond's old companions, and they take you in. And at the end of it, she's in a tunnel. Oh no! Yeah, at the end of it, you're in a tunnel, or in a cave. It's the only way to get the last pieces, because like you have to get Bayek's DNA, but then to complete his side of the story, you have to get his wife's DNA, which is really cool. And then you learn the whole truth. But at the end, you're about to get killed or like swarmed by Abstergo. But at the last second, right before all that happens, Desmond's dad comes in and rescues you, and he's like, "You're good. You're the next chosen one," essentially, more or less. So that's kind of where that ends, and then Odyssey begins, and you've already been going through way more training. You know way more. You know the crew. You're interacting way more with Desmond's dad, and you're getting a broader sense of everything. But it is very much that Layla is the next Desmond. My thing is, I just want her to be. They have not spent nearly as much time on her as they did in Assassin's Creed 1, 2,
1 through the fifth
whatever
game.
the fuck. Yeah,
basically.
whatever the fuck. 1 through 3, basically. They didn't spend as much time. And I get it. There's a lot of people that don't like the modern day stuff. And there's people that do. I think they should stick with the story that they set up, personally. I think fuck whoever likes. Look, if you don't like it, you don't have to get it. But for the people that do, I think just continue. You set the story up. I think you should continue doing it. Intertwine whoever the fuck you want, whatever timepieces you want. I don't care. I think it'd be fun regardless. They do a good job of making the world fun, making fun, interesting characters for the most part. And sometimes people are just like seeing, hey, look, it's Socrates, you know, or hey, look, it's Cleopatra. That was
definitely
cool.
That was definitely one of the selling points of the game, is that, you know, I think Brotherhood, it might have been AC2. You're just like, because pretty much all of Assassin's Creed, you're just like, okay, the Inquisition or whatever, or rather, the Crusades.
The Crusades, yeah.
Yeah, you're going through the Crusades, and you're like, okay, I vaguely understand the Crusades.
I kind of know. I've heard maybe 1 or 2 of these character names before.
Yeah, and then when you get into Ezio's storyline, it's like, Da Vinci, my best friend.
Leonardo,
what the fuck?
bitch.
You mixed all my shit. That's cool, man.
Yeah. So that's why
that's definitely a selling point for a lot of that.
Yeah. So I think they need to continue, because like so to wrap it up, they make it essentially, so the first civilization created humans, didn't like the humans, wanted to wipe them out, yada yada yada. There were some that did, some that didn't like the humans. Obviously like Minerva and all of them are like the ones that didn't, but there are still some that do. You find some AI remnants that are like, hey, we're here to help, kind of thing. And like that's the thing with like their technology, they're apparently like kind of ever present, because they know like you scan it and she's like, Cassandra, year so and so, descendant of Desmond, or I don't fucking know, Layla, or whoever the fuck, you know, like they know that shit like that, or like, you have yet to learn but will learn about so and so, and like Cassandra's like, the fuck.
Mhm.
The fuck is all this? Gods?
Yeah, the time stuff has always been kind of weird with Assassin's Creed, because there is in Revelations, Ezio basically talks to Desmond,
Yeah.
and it's like, what the fuck is happening? But it it was part of a larger mystery, and it was very interesting, and
Yeah.
it sold it. But
It was really fun.
I'm not gonna keep going back to how great everything was before 3, I guess.
To be fair, it was really nice. I liked it. In Odyssey, because Cassandra at some point does hear of Layla and all them, and it's like, who the fuck are these people? So it's and like kind of sees like an image of them, I think. So it's really nice that at the end, Layla gets to see Cassandra like in flesh and have a conversation, because I feel like that's kind of like, oh, Ezio saw Desmond, but like he wasn't there. So I think it would have been cool if like he was there. So I think that's why they're like, fuck it, let's do it. But yeah, no, I am hopeful. They have been setting up a lot. That kitty is so cute. They've been setting up a lot for the whole first civilization. And I really want to go into it with Atlantis and really just go all in and figure out what they want to do and how things are going to look for Ragnarok. Because I can only imagine, because they have just as many gods, as the Greeks. Maybe not as many. I don't know. I don't know my Norse mythology all that well. But they have a lot.
The thing is, they're gonna have to compete with God of War too.
Yeah.
Because the next God of War game is gonna come out potentially around the same time. Well, pending coronavirus shit.
Right.
But yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see how they handle that, because it is in such a different fashion, but it's also kind of the same big story beats to have to hit, or things to explain, interpretations, I guess. And of course they're gonna have their own original stories to go along with it. But yeah, it's gonna be. Well, I guess God of War is a lot more fantastical than
yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed tends to err on the side of historical accuracy as much as possible.
But yeah, no, I'm just interested in like the middle story, because obviously now we have an idea of the story for the first civilization. We're getting a better idea and basis for the modern day. So I kind of want to know what the idea is going to be for the assassins, because Origins is the beginning of the Brotherhood, the real beginning of the Brotherhood. Odyssey is the beginning of the Rift, of separating the proto-Templars from the proto-assassins, what's making it, and what will then cause the two to continue down the whole line. So that's why I'm like, I wonder what Ragnarok's going to be about.
I think if not based around,
I feel like it would have to be,
if not based between Odyssey and Origins, because I don't know how much more they can milk that. It has to be after Origins, between Origins and 1.
I think the main issue though is now that they set up Cassandra, like, or Alexios living on, it's just like, yeah, but then how do you explain everything? Is she supposed to be knowledgeable about being a bystander during all the assassins things? Would she not be considered the most grandmastery motherfucker of all the assassins? Because I understand not really, because some of the assassins, especially during the Crusades, are very influenced in Catholicism
by the church. Yeah.
But at the same time, that's only there. I'm sure there are assassins in the Mediterranean, over in fucking the Native American sectors or whatever. I don't know what they would be called over in North America and all that. I'm sure maybe they had some assassins, because that's what like all this because yeah, like all this tried to show that there were assassins and Templars everywhere, no matter how like what is it? I don't want to say civilized. Um, modernized,
I guess.
industrialized, maybe.
No matter how much the civilization has progressed.
Yeah, well, no matter their progression, whether they're like really like bare bones or they're already high tech, like it doesn't seem to matter. Like there are those sectors in every single one. So that's why I'm like, now that we have this character that's supposed to live through it all and essentially more or less knows the outcome of things, and she even says, like, I've been in a lot of wars throughout my time or battles in my time. And it's just like, okay, but where were you? Like, obviously, I know they didn't know who Cassandra was back in Assassin's Creed 1 to 3, but that's why
it's the Wonder Woman thing,
Yeah.
and Captain America, Captain America at the end of Endgame, that raising that question of,
well, what do you do?
are we supposed to believe that Captain America sat through World War II, Nam, the Cold War,
Right.
like all of that,
And just chilled
did
and was
nothing?
like, yeah.
Captain America.
Yeah, and it's like, well, he's
Are
smart.
we supposed to expect that?
Like, he's smart. He knows he would fuck up the timeline. And I'm like, yeah, but like, as he has said on multiple instances, if he sees bad, or what's the line?
I can't remember.
But you get the idea. If he sees something go the wrong way, he's going to go in to try to help it or fix it in any way he can. So it doesn't really make sense. And like, again, that's just one of like the issues of anything that goes like, hey, here's this long standing timeline of things. Oh, we're now going to put something before that and not just be like, hey, this happened before it, but say that this happened before it and lasted the entire time. Because then it's just like, okay, but then where were they?
Yeah.
Where was Cassandra? Where was Captain America?
That's the danger of messing with, time and stuff, and like giving somebody such longevity and stuff. It's especially somebody so big in this world, like they made her so big.
Yeah.
And her role in it. And it's always going to raise more questions than it is going to provide answers, which, I mean, in Assassin's Creed sense, it's probably good. It'll keep people intrigued, but it'll also have people bitching, but it's kind of a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I think I go with the whole like rule of threes kind of idea. Is the first game needs to capture interest and set intrigue. The third or the second games needs to flesh it out, answer, but make it a bigger story than it is, so people become even more interested in it and get more invested. And the third game has to be the payoff for all of that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, Ragnarok has to pay off, because so far they're following it for the most part. Origins set up a lot of intrigue and they brought it back. They were like, hey, this shit, we're bringing it back. We're going to do it better. We're sorry. It's going to be awesome this time. Origins or Odyssey kind of set that up. It's like, hey, there's this whole other section and we're going more into it. So now that Ragnarok's coming out, I want to see the payoff. I want to see more of the story. At the very least, give me enough that it can justify a fourth game.
Yeah. If it happens alongside Odyssey, I feel like I'm going to be pretty mad.
Yeah.
Like around the same time frame.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be pretty mad. Unless they make the story very, very, very compelling, which honestly, with recent games, Assassin's Creed has not been doing for me. I mean, I know people fucking would kill to defend Odyssey, and I don't know. I was in Assassin's Creed for a specific reason, and it lost that reason after 3. And it, I don't know, people like Joel and I have had conversations about it and stuff, and I've talked about it, but it's just like I don't know. Like, I feel like Assassin's Creed lost its heart in like post Desmond's death, because not only did they kill Desmond, who was supposedly supposedly this big player in all of this, they stopped with the first civilization stuff. They just went quiet. Like there was like specks of it here and there, and they just relied heavily on story to the point where at one point in one of the games, I'm pretty sure it's 4, you're just some person that works at Abstergo.
Yeah.
And you have an animus at your desk.
That is literally your
job.
Yeah, and then like Unity or Syndicate, one of them is literally like you start off and it's like this conference call saying that you're taking down all these Templars. And that's it. I have no idea. And it just gives you a menu after that. Like what the fuck?
I can't remember at one point. Actually, that might have been 4. Where they're like Abstergo is like the biggest VR game.
Yeah, that's 4.
Something manufacturer or what? Yeah, and you get to go around and be a pirate and blah blah blah. And it's like, this is not what I want. Like I understand that Abstergo's having a moment right now because of Desmond. Rather because of Desmond's death. And Abstergo's having, the Assassins took a big hit, and Abstergo's pretty much living in the spotlight right now. But come on, man, like give me, I don't know. It feels like they were buying time, and then they started diving into just the historical stuff.
Yeah.
And then making it an RPG essentially. And I was just like, you know what? I'll give it a crack. I don't have anything against RPGs or whatever, and I do like the past stuff. But having solely the past stuff isn't what Assassin's Creed is about. It's about how it intertwines with the future, rather the present time. And it stopped that for so long that I fell off, and it was just too much time. So hopefully with the upcoming one, it changes and it's able to bring me back, but I don't have a lot of faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess that's like my last thing is, I think another issue I have is, like you said, it would suck if it takes place at the same time as Assassin's Creed. Because, like, one of the issues I think I also have is when the two storylines obviously connect. So, obviously, the Crusades aren't going to connect to Revelations or to all that. Different times, right? But at some point, I don't see why the characters from Odyssey couldn't connect to Bayek in Origins. Because what is like the whole thing? In Origins, and even in the history, eventually Cleopatra marries some dude or works with some dude who is a Roman general. That's like the whole thing. Like they essentially get taken by the Roman people. Like that's the whole. Yeah. So then I'm just like, they're Roman. So they're Spartans.
There's your connection.
Which is what Cassandra is. Cool. Where the fuck is she? It's like, I don't understand why they would do that and when they would have two connecting. And it's just like, it doesn't really make sense, because then now knowing what I know from Cassandra, like from Odyssey, is like, well, then why wouldn't she have made an appearance? Why couldn't you have left little Easter eggs in that game as a hint? Did you not have any of the story fleshed out whatsoever? Because from what I saw, you guys did. So that's why I'm hoping in Ragnarok, even if they decide to say, oh, it takes place at the same time or in between or whatever, at the end or something, there is a payoff. We see like a connection between it. We see Cassandra in Egypt or something like that. Or we see Cassandra in Ragnarok. Maybe she's the character. I don't know. Maybe she just makes an appearance. Because I understand that one being a little bit harder, given where Greece and Egypt are in comparison to where like all the Norse mythology takes place in those countries. And that's much further away. So that's why I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't know.
I mean, Cassandra has the time.
No, Cassandra, yeah,
Cassandra could fucking walk. She could walk there if she wanted
she
to.
could walk, and I guess that's like the main thing now. That's my main issue is Cassandra has the time, so she better make an appearance. It's like saying it's like throwing away another Desmond. You make this really interesting and potentially important character because they don't just say, "Hey, this is the end of your Odyssey." No, they make it pretty. They make it pretty clear that you have more shit to do. And you do, because you show up 2,000 years later. So, I don't know. That's where I am. But I'm hopeful. I really enjoyed... Oof, got skunked.
Yeah, my cat just fucking carpet bombed me. Just walked right across my mic.
But
yeah,
I'm hopeful.
I mean, I'm not gonna go back and finish Odyssey if I don't. I mean, I might do what you did and just put it on easy, or I just might look up the quote unquote movie on YouTube and just watch that.
I didn't do all of the quests, but I did a majority of them, and my runtime as it stands right now is 110 hours. So
no, I'm not putting. I mean,
you have the time.
Yeah, I'm not even mad that I paid for the game. You know, I got it on a sale. That was somehow it was like half off. And I was like, okay, I'll buy it. I'm gonna buy it anyway. But yeah, and I'm hopeful. I'm slightly hopeful. I'm very jaded on the subject, but I just hope that it works itself out.
I'm hoping Ragnarok is good, because if it's good, then hopefully I can sell you on it, so that way it convinces you to try to play all 3 games, or at least watch the movies.
Yeah, because I haven't. I think I'm like 20% through Origins. I'm like 10% through Odyssey, I think. I used to be all about this shit. I used to fucking 100% these games as much as possible, and you know, again after Desmond died and everything, and I just lost the love. I just, you know, I try to give it the old college try, but never works out. Same thing happened with me in Call of Duty at some point. Yeah.
Year after year.
After Modern Warfare 3, I didn't even want Modern Warfare 3. I was given for Christmas, and that was the last game that I remember like asking, well, like being like thanks. And after that, I was like, I don't care about Call of Duty. Give me something else.
Modern Warfare 3 is the best one. Change my mind.
Yeah.
I just like the survival. But yeah,
it was very fun.
You know what isn't doing so good? The current Modern Warfare, specifically Warzone. Real quickly, Daniel, what's our runtime?
108.
Okay, I'll make this quick.
Yeah. Still got the other thing to talk about.
Oh, right. Fuck. Okay. We'll get this too. So, Daniel, if you didn't know, and I haven't been keeping up with games, because that's fine. So anyone that's been interested in Call of Duty, they have been getting some heat, to say the least. Well deserved. Very well deserved. So, in the past week or two, people have been noticing an increase in the amount of cheating that's going on in the game. So much so that I don't know. I don't have numbers, which sucks, because I would love to see numbers. Because numbers would then have reaction, I think. But there has been a high increase in the amount of cheating going on. And Activision is aware of this. They have made a statement or two, but I don't think it was the greatest. So I think this all kind of, I don't want to say blew up, but there were a few so there are a few streamers I watch. Courage JD, Tim the Tapman, Nate Shot, a few other people. I'm not saying that they were the ones that started it. There could have been other streamers that got affected, but
What did you do?
Poor kitty. Um, but obviously these streamers pull in millions of viewers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when they say things or make videos on subjects, they get a lot of clicks. Well, there are a few games that they played that they realized that they were getting hacked. And upon spectating them, it's pretty obvious that they were getting hacked. A lot of the, which I guess, given our current circumstances, wasn't helping. A lot of the cheating and the hacking, there were some commonalities. A lot of it tended to be, at the time, players would have a lot of Chinese symbols and characters in their names. So I'm sure that added some fuel. Brianna mentioned something to me once that, like, actually kind of makes sense. Doesn't necessarily mean they're Chinese or of any Asian ethnicity or descent. It could very much just be, hey, if I write my name as Banged Your Mom 25, you gonna remember that? Yeah. But if I write if I write the same shit but in kanji or katakana on my thing and all you see was Japanese symbols, would you remember that? Chances are you wouldn't. Chances are, I mean, for anyone that isn't of those, like, that doesn't know anything about those cultures, like, yeah, they're going to see those names, and it's a lot harder to track down. Like, you're not going to remember the Chinese characters or symbols or whatever, or Korean letters or symbols or whatever, as easily as you would a regular name that's native to your language, so to speak, and probably native to, I don't want to say the majority, but like a good amount of people would recognize. Anyways, so those videos were starting to blow up. They were getting cheated on, and these are streamers. So games later, they would run into more and more and more and more and more. What didn't help is a few times during these streams, some of the developers of Activision and stuff like that would be in the game, or not in the game, but in the stream watching it. And because obviously some of these streamers, the big ones, so Courage Shady, he's a Call of Duty partner. I think so is Tim the Tatman. So they have connections to the people that work at Activision, Infinity Ward, stuff like that, right? So obviously they can message their, I don't remember what are they called? Their contacts, I guess? Or
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah. Well, anyways, they have contacts, so they can message them and be like, hey, like, maybe pop into my stream. There's a really egregious cheater or whatever. And they did. They watched, they looked, and they're like, oh yeah, we're manually reviewing all this footage right now. We're saving it for archive so we can get them later. And it was just like a whole lot of this talk that they were doing something. And I was telling Brianna, I think is so stupid is that during game, they weren't able to ban this guy. They were clearly watching the stream. They were seeing what this guy was doing, yet they couldn't ban the guy mid-game. The guy ends up winning, obviously. And then, like, I believe 4 games later, like, so there's also no way to individually ban or report anyone mid-game. You have to wait till the game is over, go all the way to your recent players, find their name in a whole list of 150 people, and then report them or block them. You can imagine how annoying and tedious that is.
Yeah.
So
fuck all that.
That mixed with the fact that you can't do anything in the game, it's just so stupid. And like the developers weren't doing anything. And apparently later on, so Courage blocked them, but like someone else didn't, right? So 4 or 5 games later, they're playing another game. Courage gets a message on his screen while they're playing that, hey, a person on your blocked list has joined the game. Ooh. And they're in a game of 150 people. They're not going to back out. you know, because chances are they might not even run into them. Turns out it's the exact same fucking person. So an hour or so later, 3 or 4 games later, this person, even after being manually reviewed, watched by one of the developers for the game, still is not banned. And guess what?
Fucking nice.
They go on, they run into the guy, they get killed, the guy ends up winning. They spectate him again. It's all this, like, just on repeat. Just then it's just getting worse and worse. There are tournaments that they try having with, like, streamer tournaments and stuff like that, and it's just like there's no point because people are just gonna get cheated on. They're public lobbies. It's more like, hey, go in and try to get as many kills as you can, kind of thing. Not gonna work because there's like a billion fucking cheaters. It makes no sense. And again, Call of Duty just kind of didn't really do anything about it. After a while, about a week or so, they ended up they posted a thing saying, hey, we are committed to stopping this. Cheating is bad. We hate cheating, blah, 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 blah. We have already banned 50,000 people on so-and-so. But it's like Call of Duty pulls in about 30 million players.
Mm-hmm.
They banned 50 million or 50,000. Can they prove it? I don't know. That's one of my issues. Yeah. It's not like they released the names of all the cheaters. It's not like they proved that they cheated and then they blocked them or banned them. They just said, hey, we got rid of 50,000. And I'm like, cool. Any company could come in and they go, hey, like, we got a million. Who's to say otherwise,
Yeah.
So that was my issue. But basically, it has gotten to the point where a lot of people are starting to tune out. Because the game is fun. People really enjoy playing the game, but there's no point in playing it if you're just going to get killed. Mm-hmm. And it's just kind of gotten to the point where, like, even Courage doesn't want to play it. He loves the game. He wants to play it, but there have been times where they played 5 games, 4 out of the 5 games in a row, cheated on. And like a lot of people in the comments, obviously, or you can imagine, are going like, how do you know they're cheating? Or maybe they just have really good aim. And it's just like, one, the most egregious, go fuck yourself. There's no way you will deny someone shooting this guy, perfect headshot, snap over here, perfect headshot, snap over here, perfect headshot. There's no way. No one can do that. I can't snap to a guy falling 200 meters in the air from a parachute. There's no way I can snap on him, shoot like 8 bullets out of my fucking SMG, land every single hit, and kill the guy. There's no way. I can't look into a mountain with a sniper, see literally nothing, shoot, and then get a kill. Or can I chase people through buildings? A lot of different versions.
Yeah.
And so that's like the most egregious ones. Like, obviously you can't deny it. And other times, like, maybe it's a little bit subtle. And those I kind of understand some people going like, well, how do you know? To that, you got to realize. So Courage, he was a professional Call of Duty player before he went full-time streaming. Some of the other people are professional Call of Duty players. Some of them are just good at the game and been playing for a long time. And after a while, when you die. And when it's a legitimate death. Like, there's no way this person hit that shot. There's no way this person hit 8 of those shots in a row. Like, you can tell after a certain point that they probably cheated. There's no way any person would have ever gotten those kind of kills. Even the luckiest, maybe. But to repeatedly do it, no. So, that's essentially where they are. There's a whole lot of cheating. Multiple people in a row are just getting cheated on left and right. And as of right now, not a whole lot of word from Activision. And people are just saying, like, it's insane, because then you have games over here like Fortnite that has the same or had some lesser numbers than 30 million people and eventually got more. And they have this anti-cheat software for a game that's free to play. Yet you have a game that's $60. Granted, Warzone, that side of the game, is free. But you have this game that's $60 and they don't have any kind of anti-cheat software. Like, you don't even need the most, like, refined algorithm. You just need to be like, hey, this guy hit 7 shots in a row from a guy falling from a parachute 300 meters away. Do you think he's cheating? Because I think he's cheating.
Yeah, and this is coming from one of the biggest fucking game franchises to date.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm sure their numbers have dropped, but they were one of the biggest multiplayer platforms in the world for at least 10 years. You know, and people fucking... This is where the Xbox Live kid was born.
Yeah.
You know, this game is where the Xbox Live kid was born. The kid that's like, fuck your mom, throwing around gay jokes, throwing around racist jokes, saying that you suck. Profanity there. When it's a fucking 9-year-old child on Xbox Live and somehow carries over into their young adulthood, and they still think they're cool. Like, so much time has been put into this game franchise.
Yeah.
Like, and I only bring up the Xbox Live kid because, like, that still exists. That still exists out there with these people. I've sat through games and I still hear this shit. And yet people still play.
Yeah.
People still want to play. People still give the Xbox Live kid a platform to stand on because they really like these games. And it's like, you know, personally, I don't get it anymore. I just stepped away from it. But, you know, like, this is one of the most beloved franchises, at least first person shooter wise, in history. And how the fuck do you not have an anti-cheat software?
And yeah,
like what the fuck is going on? And I'm sure Activision pressure to fix all this stuff. And, you know, like, there's only so much they can say, I'm sure. But you know, you would think that there would be, you know, coming out of the gate, that there would be something that's not going to come in a later update, you know, something that important.
Yeah. And one of the things that I guess also helps, like, drive and sell this point even more is just, like, it's not like it takes time. There's a brand new game. It came out. It's called Valorant. It's Valorant. Valorant. It's like CSGO and Overwatch made a love child. But it's fun. A lot of people are playing it. It's personally not my kind of game. I don't really like those style games, but a lot of people are loving it.
One of the people I follow, Andy Cortez, from Kind of Funny, he streams it recently. He's actually just started streaming right now. He was playing it and I sat through like 15 minutes of it and I was like, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on here. I'm bye.
Yeah. Those games are very intense. But yeah, it's fun. It looks nice. I'm not a big fan, but guess what it has? Anti-cheat software. Day one.
Oh my god.
And I think it's a free to play game as well. So it's just like a whole, when they have things like this, it's just like, this is going to make people step away. Brianna refuses to play Warzone. She'll play all the multiplayer games. Refuses to play Warzone. Because there's nothing you can do. And the possibility of getting cheated on can be pretty high. And I mean, there's other things that go into it, but, like, for instance, on Xbox, you can't turn on crossplay or turn off crossplay. I have to play with PC players and PlayStation players. I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
That ain't right.
But one, PC players definitely have an advantage. I kind of I can lessen that gap if I plug in my mouse and keyboard. That's for sure.
Mhm.
But still, but like PlayStation, guess what they can do? They can turn off crossplay and just play with PS4 lobbies. The fuck? And that isn't, all right, let me just say, that isn't to say there isn't cheating on consoles. You can cheat with consoles. It's a little bit harder, but you can do it. People like to say it's impossible. It's not impossible. You can do it. If there's a way, people will find it. That's for sure. People know what they're doing.
And they will put it on YouTube.
Yeah. But is there a way to do it a little easier on PC? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You can get the files. You can access files. It's a little bit easier. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. But yeah, for us though, on Xbox, we're not able to turn off crossplay, which means we had to play with PC lobbies, which means we have a much higher chance of running into cheating. I'm pretty sure there was one game I was playing with my friend Adrian. I'm pretty sure there was a game that we got cheated on because we both died midair. And then when he came back and landed, he was hiding behind a wall. Hiding behind that wall for a while, and then runs out, instantly gets killed. And when he spectates it, you can see the guy just aiming where he was on that wall. And as soon as he starts running, you can see that his tracker perfectly track him and hit.
Wonderful.
Like he's like behind this middle of the wall for like a good 3 seconds. And like it's like, and like I said, the people that want to argue that like, oh, maybe he's just really good. Yes, he knew to wait exactly 3 seconds. And then as soon as Adrian started moving, he knew to also instantly move and track. And as soon as he saw him come out the corner, shoot and kill him.
Yeah, no, that's a load of crap.
Yes.
Yeah, fuck these people. Fuck them out their stupid asses.
Yeah. So it's just like, it's really been like, really, it's toxic, but not because of the community, but also kind of because of the community. And as one of the streamers I watch say is like, until they start losing stock, they're not going to do anything. Yeah. So they're really hoping like this Valorant and other games that come out push Activision to lose stock, because until they do that, nothing's going to happen. They're just going to keep going, hey, we banned 50,000 more people. Cool.
Fucking great.
Like you have to like just think about how depressing that is. If you're playing a game, you happen to look at the kill feed and you see a name that you know is a cheater. Like, oh, guys, hey, Evo's in our game. Wasn't he the cheater from last time? Cool. Guess I know how this is going to turn out.
Yeah, especially like if we're big streamers and stuff whose livelihood depends on this.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, which is a weird sentence to say still to me, but you know, that's how it is. And for people in like competitions and stuff, like even though they're not like big esports competitions, they could be like very, you know, local kind of things. You know, you could possibly lose a career in esports. These fucking idiots.
Yeah,
and
it's like
there's no rule against that. It's like, oh, that guy was obviously cheating. Sorry, guys, you lost the tournament. Yeah,
you didn't get enough kills. Sorry, like you're only permitted 5 games. Not our fault that you ran into 4 games in a row and died right off spawn.
Sorry, dude.
Or got 2 kills and got killed by a cheater. It's not our fault, you know. But that's what happened. So bye, guys. Yeah, it's really fucking dumb, to say the least.
It's ridiculous.
So, but yeah, that's all this. That's kind of the state of things. Again, this isn't like a whole like bashing on Call of Duty. It's slightly bashing on Call of Duty, specifically Call of Duty.
Get shit together.
Yeah, get their shit together. But not the game. The game is fine. I enjoy it. Other people don't. That's fine. But
it's just the people.
Yeah, it's interesting to see a company this big with a game that has this many players, and something like that just kind of slip on by. When you have other games, a game that literally just came out, it had no idea of knowing exactly how many people would play, and it's free to play, and they have an anti-cheat.
Even if they saw it, because Warzone, right?
Yeah,
that's Yeah, Warzone came out fairly recently within the shelter in place order. Right?
Yeah, it came out right around March.
Yeah. So it's come out relatively recently. Even if Valorant like saw it and added it last minute, kind of even just proves your point even more. It was like, how fucking hard is it?
Yeah.
How hard is it to throw that in?
There are third party there are third party developers and like software that you can get and implement into your system to create anti-cheat or to have an anti-cheat. Blizzard and Activision have it because I know when you log into fucking Destiny through the Blizzard thing, it runs an anti-cheat thing off the thing. It'll be like, hey, we're turning this shit on. And it's just like, okay, so Activision knows what the fuck anti-cheat is. It's not like they're like, hey, Bob, do you know what this anti-cheat thing is? Yeah, I don't know either. A lot of people are asking for it. Never heard of it. Yeah, it's like, no.
No one's got to cheat.
No.
Who cheats nowadays?
Who cheats nowadays? Yeah.
Does it mean cheat codes? Cheat codes don't exist anymore.
They do, actually.
That's what DLC's for.
Well, if you played Doom Eternal, you'd know.
Shut up. I haven't got there yet.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, that fucking sucked. But hopefully some better news will come out in the future. Yes, John, do you have something to say still?
No.
Okay, well, hopefully Activision gets their shit together because they're one of, the biggest fucking companies out there, and they need to
get their shit together.
Get your shit together. Yes, like why are you gonna allow this to stand in your fucking community? Like, how are you proud to have this game out there and not do anything about making sure that everybody is on equal footing?
Yeah, it's not even like
fuck's sakes. I'm pretty sure Fortnite did something similar to it to make sure everyone's on equal footing, and it pissed off everybody. But at least they did something that they were slightly proud of.
Yeah,
and wasn't fucking everybody over.
I mean, they reverted it because everyone got mad, but then they brought it back recently. But either way,
they're doing stuff to make their community happy and supportive,
they're listening
and instilling their faith into you as the fucking game developer. Like, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Anyway, yeah. So get your shit together, Activision, and hopefully next week we'll have something better to say about it. But yeah, anyway, this has been another episode of the TopCup podcast, a weekly conversation podcast for two butts talk out their butts to fill your cup with more things than you had yesterday. I don't know. I lost myself. Anyway, if you liked what you saw, then leave us a like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. I've been your host, Daniel Arroyo. If you like to follow me on social media where I post boring shit, you can follow me at Your Buddy Danny on Instagram and Twitter, and John at Clinging Mite on Twitter, and John Oivitas on Instagram where he posts better shit because he actually has talent. If you like
when I post, which is like once a year, I'm
trying to help you, John. I'm trying to help you, John.
Fine.
I'm trying to help you, John.
I post more on this channel than I do on, but okay, that's fine. Whatever.
If you'd like to follow the Top Cup social medias, you can find us at Top Cup Vids on Twitter and Instagram, and you can also check out our Facebook page, which gets no love, even from us.
One thing I do
hopefully that gets changed,
is I am kind of streaming every once in a while now, along with Brianna. So
I noticed.
So you can follow me. I play random things. Recently, we've been playing a lot of party games like Human Fall Flat, Overcooked, and stuff like that. But normally it'll be a little bit more tryhardy games like Call of Duty or Gears of War, stuff like that. Stuff like all that kind of jazz. Yeah, you can find me over at twitch.com/clingymite.
Twitch.tv.
Twitch.tv/clingymite. I'll post or I'll stream, I don't know, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. I don't know yet. I haven't worked out a schedule. For sure, not Tuesdays and Thursdays, because on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you can find Brianna at twitch.tv/zombiekiller, where she plays games similar to me and usually with me. But hers are a little bit more laid back, more chill, like Minecraft and Sims and fun games like that. I would play those games if they didn't drive me crazy with boredom and madness and want me to end everything. But yeah.
So thank you again for watching / listening to us, because we don't have video today. Hopefully we'll get that also figured out next week. But yeah, until then, love you guys. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Wash your ass. Wash your hands before you wash your ass is probably a good idea.
Wash your hands with your ass.
Yeah, and may the power protect you. Peace out.
Peace.